You must have heard that there is no magic formula to achieve success. But what if I tell you something? Is there that will guarantee your success for sure? But before I start, let me ask you one question. Have you ever started a diet, a fitness plan, or even a hobby, or a side hustle, and dropped it midway? Don't worry, I've been there too. Because we start with a fire, but in a way, perfection becomes enemy and consistency feels impossible. So we drop it in the midway and we never look towards our goals. But there is one thing which I have lived, breathed, and bring into my life. That is, persistence beats consistency and perfection. From childhood, I have been trained to chase perfection. Perfect grades, perfect marks, perfect behavior, and my life would be perfect. But sooner I knew there is nothing like perfection because the harder I chase perfection, it always slips away. In my 10th grade, I scored well, but I was not selected for the first person in my poster for school. But yes, I was still in the poster of my school. I wanted to work harder, wanted to be the first one. So I worked harder and harder for my 12th grade. But marks fell down. At that time, I realized one thing, which you all must have realized, that the harder you chase perfection, the farther it goes. And then I realized that I don't need to chase perfection, but I need to find something else which should be sustainable. And at that time, I came across consistency. I enrolled into the hotel management. I focused on being consistent. Consistency says every single day show up with little more effort and you will have your success. So I joined hotel management, chose my niche, cooking and baking. And sure enough, consistency was showing the results. In the very first year, because of my consistent good grades and my performance, I became the student of the year. In the second grade, I got the chance to get trained in India's third largest hotel, ITC Grand Shola Chennai. And in the third year, I was being consistent towards my goal. I wanted to become the executive pastry chef in some of the five-star hotels all around the world. I was doing well. I became the gold medalist in my college. I had offer letters from the five-star hotels across the globe like China, Japan, Australia and India. But then, suddenly 2020 hit. Everyone was sitting at the home, locked up in their rooms, quarantined, including me. At that time, I was shattered into pieces. I didn't have any idea what I can do with my life. Because till now, I believe being consistent is the formula to win, and I will achieve success for sure. But at that particular moment, I realized I was being successful just because I had everything drawn towards my path. I had really good college. I had really good teachers. I had really good mentors who were guiding me in which direction I should pursue to achieve my goal. I had good place to study. So everything was good enough for me so that I could be consistent. But when I was sitting at home, quarantined, without any equipments or without any ingredients, I realized consistency doesn't work when life throws a curveball at you. I was shattered because my medals, my offer letters, my certificates didn't matter anymore. So I locked myself in a room for 6 months. During that 6 months, I came across one of the most powerful forces in the world. That is persistence. Persistence is different from consistency and perfection. Persistency says that do little every day, no matter what. No matter what conditions you are in, no matter what facilities you have, no matter what problems you have, or no matter how much successful you are. You may be successful, you may be a failure, but you need to show up every single day and work towards your goal. That thing hit me really hard. And then, at my home, with the minimum resources, I started working. I started to improve my work. I started to document my work just to understand that how much growth I am achieving by just being persistent. But trust me, it was not easy at all. Because my cake sank, my chocolate blew, my equipment's broke, and I had no one to guide me with that. How would I fix this? I just have to keep on repeating it and trying until I achieve the success. So every single day, I would wake up, try on the previous day's failed result, and then try something new. These things kept on going and on. And eventually, I felt that my craft is improving. I am getting refined with my work. And the work which I was documenting was being appreciated by people. It was not intentional. But people started to appreciate and started coming to me and asked me to teach them. And this built motivation and confidence for me. And I was surprised. By just being in my home, in a small city of Gujarat, Porbandar, I am able to meet so many different people via social media, teach my skills to others by just being persistent. And that motivation and confidence led me to build the Guinness World Record for the longest line of chocolate bars. I became the Rising Star of the Year in my college, and I was also felicitated with the King Chef Award. But you must be thinking, okay, this worked for you. How about others? But let me tell you, persistence is a universal force. It works for every single one of you. How? Because persistency tells you that you will fall, you will fail, but you will not stop. While perfection is a moving target, you will always keep on reaching towards it and it will keep on moving away. And consistency will be smooth, it will give you results, but only if you are having a smooth life. When the life will throw a curveball, you will be disturbed and you won't be able to be consistent. Hence, persistence works for everyone. Now, let's talk about some examples. Think about Edison. He tried thousands of bulbs before he invented the light bulb. What if he would have stopped at the 50th bulb? And it was not consistency, it was persistence. How? Because he didn't knew that the light bulb is possible or not. There are high chances that after thousands, 10,000s or lakhs of try, there would be no light bulb. But he persisted. With every failure, he learned something, and the next day he got up and tried again. And after thousands of trials, he invented the light bulb, and our world is glowing. Think about Michael Jordan. In an interview, he said, I have lost more than 3,000 shots, more than 300 games lost, and 26 times he was trusted to play the final winning shot, and he lost. He himself admitted that I failed again and again and again, and that's why I'm successful right now. And think about J.K. Rowling. She reached out to 12 different publishers, got rejected before the Harry Potter saw the day of light. Think if she would have just waited for the perfect script or perfect story, every childhood would have been less magical. So, persistency beats consistency and perfection. But how it will work for you? Let's understand through my journey of world record. When I planned to break the Guinness World Record in the mid of Corona, everybody thought that I was going crazy because I was just sitting at home. And everybody was mocking that there are giant players in this chocolate industry and you will be able to break the world record. Impossible. But that's where I was confident about persistence. I showed up every single day, kept a target to make 100 bars each day. Me and my aunt would wake up, would start making chocolates, but many a time we would not be able to make a single bar. Why? Because temperature fluctuated. Machines didn't work. The rainfall made it impossible to work with chocolate, or the heat would not let us freeze our chocolates. That's when we kept on persisting. Day by day. If one day we would make 0 bars, then maybe next day we would make 150 bars. In that way, eventually, we built up the whole chocolate stored up, and we broke the Guinness World Record for the longest line of chocolate bars by setting up 2,308 bars with 110 kgs of chocolate. But it was not easy. But it became possible because of persistence. Now, how you can apply it in your life? But before that, close your eyes and imagine. If you have ever started a diet, a fitness plan, or a hobby and dropped it midway, think if you just persisted, not daily, not regularly, but if you just kept working on that goal, where would you be? What you would be doing right now? Just think about it. Persistency will help you achieve goals which you may have not even imagined. Because consistency helps you build habit. Perfection helps you build pressure on yourself. And persistency builds legacy. In the same way, you can do small things every single day. Let's take an example. If you want to follow a diet, but one day you are visiting a marriage and you have to eat all the different types of varieties, then what you can do? You can do is you can skip your another meal or make it little less heavier. If you want to work out, but there is a rainy season outside, you can work out at your home. There should be no pause in your goal. You just need to keep on moving towards your goal. That's how persistency works. So by now, you would be clear that persistency will beat your consistency and perfection. When I started my social media journey, I just hit 900 followers. But I took up a challenge of 30 days, 30 workouts. And trust me, it was much difficult because I promised to post every day at 12 o'clock. And I would never be able to do it at 12 o'clock. Why? Because chocolate would not be ready. I would mess up some fillings. But at the end of the day, I would post something or the other thing related to the chocolate. Why? Because I committed to it. I wanted to be persistent about my chocolate journey. Within 30 days, my community grew from 900 to 10,000, then 50,000, and much more now. So, you just need to be persistent towards your goal. May it be diet, meal plan, fitness plan, your relationship, your hobby, or your side hustle. Now, let me end with a challenge for you guys. Today, just pick one particular niche. Take your diet plan if you want to lose weight or if you want to gain weight. If you want to make yourself more flexible or you want to work on your relationship, then just pick one particular thing and persist over 6 months. And then you will see what I meant when persistence beats consistency and perfection. To end this, I would like to say life is a lot like chocolate. Because if you rush it, it will burn. If you will want to make it perfect, it will not come out smoothly. But if you stay there, temper it properly, and keep patience, it will shine like your goals. Thank you.